The Kuru dynasty of Hastinapur presided over an era of exceptional wealth and social order. Under King Shantanu, the empire achieved a level of peace that the historical records describe as nearly flawless. These records comprise the Mahabharata. While it tracks a royal family drama, the text functions as an exploration of karma and universal laws. Every chapter uses the internal conflicts of the state to illustrate rigid philosophical truths. The stability of the throne began to shift when King Shantanu sought to marry Satyavati, the daughter of a local fisherman. Her father refused the proposal unless Shantanu agreed to a strict condition. Only Satyavati's future children would inherit the crown, effectively disinheriting the rightful prince. To resolve his father's dilemma, the crown prince Devavrata swore an oath to never take the throne and to never father a child. This vow of celibacy was so extreme, it earned him the title Bhishma, or the one of the terrible oath, but it left the kingdom without its most qualified successor. Bhishma's sacrifice successfully secured his father's marriage, but it fundamentally destabilized the dynasty's future. By removing the primary heir from the line of succession, he created a power vacuum that his younger half-brothers were unprepared to fill. The consequences emerged quickly. Satyavati's 2 sons both died at a young age without producing heirs. For the first time in generations, the Kuru lineage faced a complete halt in biological succession. To prevent the dynasty from ending, the Queen Mother turned to sage Vyasa. He performed niyog, an ancient practice to maintain the bloodline. The results of this intervention were physically compromised. Because the queens were terrified by Vyasa's appearance, the children were born with defects. The first son, Dhritarashtra, was born blind, and the second, Pandu, was born with a chronic, sickly pallor. These defects created a constitutional crisis. Dhritarashtra was the elder brother, but his blindness legally disqualified him from ruling. This forced the throne onto the younger, physically weak Pandu, making the leadership of the empire increasingly precarious. King Pandu's reign was cut short by a curse that forced him into exile in the Himalayas. While living as ascetics, his wives used a divine mantra to invoke the gods, resulting in the birth of 5 sons, known as the Pandavas. Meanwhile, the blind Dhritarashtra remained in the palace as regent, where he fathered 100 sons, the Kauravas. They were led by the eldest brother, Duryodhana, who grew up viewing the throne as his natural birthright. When King Pandu died, the orphaned Pandavas returned to the capital. Their presence created immediate friction. As they trained alongside their cousins, the 5 Pandavas proved superior in strength and virtue, consistently outperforming the 100 Kauravas in every royal discipline. Duryodhana's resentment was encouraged by his uncle, Shakuni. Shakuni used his influence at court to frame the Pandavas not as family, but as political rivals who needed to be systematically eliminated. The palace was now home to 105 princes, all living under one roof while claiming the same crown. Because the elder brother, Dhritarashtra, was only a regent, and the rightful heirs had returned, the legal ambiguity of the succession ensured that a peaceful transition of power was no longer an option. Duryodhana eventually escalated to assassination. He invited the Pandavas to a festival in the city of Varnavata, housing them in a palace secretly built from highly flammable wax and resin. During the night, his agents set the structure on fire, intending to kill the brothers while they slept. The Pandavas escaped through an underground town they had secretly prepared. As the wax palace burned to the ground, they slipped into the wilderness, allowing the royal court in Hastinapur to believe they had perished in the fire. In the years that followed, the brothers lived in hiding as wandering monks. They moved through hostile territories, surviving on the physical protection of the strongest brother, Bhima, who defended the family against local threats and predatory entities. Their status changed when Arjuna won a legendary archery contest to marry Princess Draupadi. However, due to a literal interpretation of their mother's instructions to share what they brought home, Draupadi was married to all 5 brothers, creating a unique and unbreakable bond between them. The assassination attempt resulted in the opposite of Duryodhana's goal. The years of exile transformed the Pandavas into seasoned warriors, and their new marriage alliance provided them with the political backing of the powerful Panchala kingdom. When the Pandavas finally revealed they were alive, the shock forced Dhritarashtra into a defensive maneuver. To avoid an immediate war with the Pandavas' new allies, he agreed to split the empire into two separate kingdoms. The division was intentionally lopsided. The Kauravas kept the prosperous capital, while the Pandavas were given Khandavaprastha, a barren, cursed territory that was considered uninhabitable by the rest of the empire. Instead of surrendering, the Pandavas used their military strength to reclaim the land. Supported by Lord Krishna, they used divine weapons to clear the dense forests and defeated the hostile factions that occupied the territory for centuries. On that cleared ground, they built the majestic city of Indraprastha, employing a master architect to create a palace of unparalleled technical and aesthetic quality. This new city immediately surpassed the wealth and prestige of the ancient capital in Hastinapur. Transforming a wasteland into the world's most advanced city confirmed the Pandavas' capability to rule. For Duryodhana, this success was a final provocation. The existence of Indraprastha made the eventual total war between the two branches of the family certain.